So the threats that these businesses face is that either, the major threat could be Google deciding not to send traffic to your site and not showing up your site on Google searches. So if Google comes with an update and it kind of penalizes your site for doing something not right based on Google's guidelines, and then Google decides not to like you anymore and doesn't send you any traffic, then you're doomed because, yeah, you are literally. That's one thing, which is the biggest risk. The second risk is, let's say you're an Amazon associate affiliate and you are promoting products on Amazon, reviewing products and promoting. And one day Amazon decides to cut commissions from, let's say, 6% to 2%, which it
Which
has
they
done in the
do.
past multiple
They
times.
did.
They
Yeah.
do every few years, they would do it. So then your income would be cut in half or more overnight without you doing anything or you being wrong.
Let's learn how our next guest gets up, dress up, and show up on purpose. Enjoy the episode. Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lunid, and today I have the honor of introducing a very special guest to the show, Mohit Tater. Now, he is a serial entrepreneur. Mohit, you have done so much from investing to consulting, and you found the black book investment, and you quickly recognized that you're recognized as an expert investor in online businesses. And so you have honed in your skills over the last five
Yeah,
years and strategizing and how to optimize the space and help people raise, thousands and thousands of dollars in funding. So
right.
I'm excited to have you on here because I want to hear about the tips on how to do this effectively as
Sure.
myself. I'm getting ready to do a investment round myself, so I'm looking forward to picking your brain. So with no further ado, Mohit, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lee. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yes, happy to have you. Tell us about your journey and how you have started multiple businesses, but now you're focusing on investing on the other side of it and helping others get funding. So tell us about
Yeah.
that transition.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, I run a company called Black Book Investments. How it came about was that I was buying online businesses back like 10 years ago, which is when I started my make money online journey.
Mhm.
Before that, I was blogging. I tried to blog, but I could not make any money from that. So I chanced upon this site called Flippa.com, and it was a marketplace for buying and selling online businesses. So I took the plunge and spent a couple $1,000s on buying a small website which was doing social media marketing services. I bought that, I grew that, I sold that for 6x. I made some money on that one. And then I was like, okay, I don't need to start something from scratch. I can buy an existing business and grow that, which is what seemed to be my forte. So I continued doing that. I kept buying more and more businesses and slowly leveling up in the price range and the size of businesses I was buying. I also got scammed a couple of times, but that's just a part of the business. But that was early days, 10, 11 years ago, very early days, Wild Wild West. It still is. And but then, yeah, I grew pretty quickly. And in 2014, when I was visiting a friend in the US, he asked me that what I was doing because I was pretty much, chilling out and or working from a cafe or from home because I was staying with him for a few weeks. And I told him that I buy and run online businesses. So that's what I do, and that's why I can work from anywhere. So he said, I want to invest some money. So can you help me? So I was like, okay, sure. So this is a service that I didn't start offering it, but it just kind of came to me that,
Yeah.
okay, there's a need for that. So I can help people do this. So we bought a site for my friend. We bought a business for my friend, and then I was operating and managing it basically. And then that grew. So he got his friends involved, family involved. We bought more businesses, more websites, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And I launched my company, Black Book Investments. So yeah, currently we work with multiple investors. We also have a group buy that, it's a pool of funds that we use to buy multiple sites. And then we also work with one of the biggest brokers in the space, which is Empire Flippers. They have a separate division called Web Street, which raises money for investors. from investors, and then we go and buy online businesses using that money, and then operate and run and grow those businesses. And right now we're managing about $10 million worth of online businesses.
That is impressive. And how do you keep
Yeah.
your profile diversified? And what businesses, because I imagine you don't just take invest in all of them. You have particular ones, niche ones
Yeah,
that you
of
go
course.
after.
Yeah, so we mostly do content websites that are monetized via display ads or affiliate commissions. People are looking for some info online. They go, we come up in Google, they go to our site, either read the info or, click on an ad maybe or click on an affiliate link. So we get paid basically. So mostly we do content sites in multiple niches, like hobbies or finance or parenting or, any niche basically. Yeah, that's what we're doing currently.
No, that's interesting because my husband and I have one called Fermentation Pro, and it's all about all things fermenting, and we have been
Nice.
growing
There
it
you go.
for several years. And so you go in and purchase or invest in
Yes.
those sites, particular.
Yes, we purchased them. We purchased them outright, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what makes how do you determine if a business is undervalued and the potential that it can have.
Sure. So there's few things that you can look at. One is when we look at a business to buy, it should be growing. So the trajectory should be upwards. We don't necessarily buy dying businesses or businesses that are declining because turning around is not my thing. And I'd like to, just sail the rocket ship and grow, businesses that are already growing and grow them further. That's our forte. So the quick wins that we look for is that let's say a business, a website is monetized by affiliate, but it does not have any display ads on it. So when we come in, we can immediately implement display ads and increase the income right away for that site. Or let's say the owner hasn't put affiliate links on all the products that he's promoting. So we come in and see, we do an audit if there's any links that are not affiliate links. So we replace them with our affiliate links, immediately increasing the revenue. Um, so these are just like a couple things that we can do to increase the revenue immediately. And of course, there are more things like conversion rate optimization or adding more content, updating old content, which takes longer on a site. So yeah, generally we look at the niche and how much the scope for that niche is, and just make sure that the site has not covered all of it already, so that we have scope to grow.
Yeah,
Basically.
and
So.
and once you acquire these sites, you have a team that because you now you're owning it, you're managing it, you're pretty much running the site now. So tell us about what that process look like inside, as in internal. Um,
Yeah, so we have a team of 25 full-time people comprised of SEOs, uh, editors, content managers, writers, and you name it. So all of these people combined are managing about, I'd say, 30, 35 different websites at the moment.
mhm.
And it's like everyone is doing their job. And that way, it's like, one person is doing the research for new content. The other person is then creating a brief for the articles. Once he has the research, then the next person is a content manager. She's assigning those briefs to writers. Then the writers get their work done. They send the articles. Then there's a article uploader, like the guy who uploads the article on the website. Then there's an editor slash proofreader who checks the article, and then an SEO who optimizes it, and then basically the site manager who publishes it and overviews the whole thing basically.
Mhm.
So in short, yeah, in brief, this is what the process looks like.
Yeah. And so how long does the site has to be live for you before you buy it? Are we talking? Because it's a long-term
Yeah,
thing, right?
take time.
SEO is it's a long-term process. So tell us about that.
Ideally 3 years is what we look at or more. So it should be around for 3 years or more for us to look at it, and should be making a few $1,000s at least for it to be worth our time.
A month?
So a month exactly, or
Okay.
let's say $100,000 a year ballpark.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Because the time
for
the time it takes to grow the sites is similar, whether it's a bigger site or a smaller site. So might
Mhm.
as well work on bigger sites. Yeah.
And then what's the biggest niche that you see that people that drives traffic to sites? What's your biggest one?
Personal finance is really big.
Yeah.
Then yeah, that's one of the big ones. There's also cooking. Cooking is huge. Recipes and cooking and mom blogs. So that's another huge niche, basically.
Mom
Yeah,
blogs, you said?
yeah, yeah.
Cooking and mom blogs. Okay, and then so tell us about Black Book. How people who are intrigued, what do they get into? What does that process look like to come
Sure.
side by side with you?
Yeah, sure. So we offer two services, two products to our investors. One is the one-on-one investment, in which you work with us directly one-on-one, and we look for a suitable target, suitable business for you to buy. We go out and do all the searching, all the finding, all the negotiating, all the due diligence, all the talking to the seller, doing the deal, closing it, doing the transfer, everything. So the minimum for that is like $150,000 that we require. We, not us, but that's the money you should have to be able to invest in a business,
Mm-hmm.
to buy that type of business, because a business in that price range would be making anywhere around, I'd say three, $4,000, $5,000. So that's what we're looking at. And when the deal is done, we charge a 10% finder's fee on the deal size to get everything done. And, we save you more money than we charge you by negotiating on your behalf, based on our experience. Once the site is transferred to your hosting and you have the domain, we then start managing the site, and we charge a flat monthly fee, which starts at $2,000 a month to grow and manage that business and that website for you as an investor. Now, if you don't have 150,000 lying around, we have an option by which you can participate in it at a much smaller price point, which is $25,000. The
Mm-hmm.
option is a group buy, wherein we do it every 6 months. We pool money from multiple people, multiple investors into a big pool, minimum being 25,000, and then we buy multiple websites using that money, so that your money is spread across multiple assets and it's not at risk, and you're investing less money than $150,000 basically. So these two are, and then all the revenues we share 40% with the investors, net, like gross revenue. So whatever comes in, 40% directly goes to investors as dividends, paid out quarterly. 30% goes towards the growth of the site in terms of content, link building campaigns, all of that, CRO campaigns, and then 30% goes to Black Book as the management fee.
Hmm.
So
So
yeah, that's
passive
the model.
passive income, second to none, as it is, instead of like real estate. Let's compare the two. That's like the digital
Yeah,
passive income aspect of
it
it.
is. Yeah, it's still real estate, to be honest. But the thing is, the cap rates are pretty high in this. Historically, in the last 7, 8 years, we have delivered 29% returns to our investors annualized. Right now, the prices have gone up because these assets are now hot property and everyone is wanting to get them. So the prices have gone up, which has affected our like ROI, but we're still above 20% annualized. And that's after all the fee. So our investors are still netting 22, 23% annualized after all the fee, and without lifting a finger, because it's all passive for them.
Hmm. And that's how it's different from real estate. So it's online real estate
Yes,
essentially.
it is. You can say that it's online real estate. Yeah,
Yeah, because we've moved to a
yeah,
digital space, and so that's just moving in with the times. And I know quite a bit of people who are
yeah.
monetizing their websites in that
Sure.
way, and it's quite simple. It's almost she's asking answering a question that is being posed, and
Yeah,
essentially on
exactly.
Google.
There you go. That's yeah. In simple words, it is that. Yeah.
But tell us about what the value that adds to the body of knowledge already existing, like why that circular needs to take place to continue to add.
Yeah. Yes. So what we do is we hire real life experts when we get content written for our sites, and we do market research first. We do keyword research and see what people are searching for and what they're not able to find online, what has not been written about, and then we go out and find experts in those niches and get that content written, which hasn't been already, written or has not been updated in a while. So we come in and with our expert writers and update, actually post that, publish that content for the readers, and then they find it through Google.
And then so you need different sites, right? Because Google frown upon having too many information on one site, right? So they want
Yeah.
you to kind of niche down and not
Yes.
You can have so many blogs answering different questions where it does not correlate. The content doesn't correlate. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so each site is different. Each site is in a different niche. Some could be broad, some could be like smaller micro niche, depending on what the authority of the site is, the domain rating and the authority and the age of the site. It can cover broader topics if it's really established and has been around for a while. Whereas if it's a new site, then it's better for you to niche down and just write about a particular thing. Let's say not write about personal finance, but maybe write about getting out of debt. And
Mhm.
you can even go further down, like getting out of college tuition debt, basically. So that is how specialized you can be. And for anyone wanting to start their own website, I would say niche down in the beginning, but keep a scope for growing further. So the domain name that you choose should be broad enough if you ever decide to, go broad.
Ah, makes sense. And then in terms of content length, I know there is a magic number of what 1500 for blogs to ensure that it's long enough. And then, but some you can get away
Yes,
with short, switching short, like
shorter,
500,
but
depending
you're
on
right.
how long the website has been
Yeah.
live.
Yeah, I'd say 500 is too short, but yeah, you're right. 1500 would be the kind of average that we calculate, like a sweet spot for informational articles. For reviews and buying guides and affiliate articles, it could be longer, like 4,000 words as well. But yeah, otherwise it's 1500 average.
Interesting. And now, I imagine going on these websites and there are ads and pop-ups everywhere and you click them and sometimes there's hackers and there's viruses. So let's talk about some of the threats that these online businesses face that they need to be aware
Yeah, yeah. So the threats that these businesses face is that either, the major threat could be Google deciding not to send traffic to your site and not showing up your site on Google searches. So if Google comes with an update and it kind of penalizes your site for doing something not right based on Google's guidelines, and then Google decides not to like you anymore and doesn't send you any traffic, then you're doomed because, yeah, you are literally. That's one thing, which is the biggest risk. The second risk is, let's say you're an Amazon associate affiliate and you are promoting products on Amazon, reviewing products and promoting. And one day Amazon decides to cut commissions from, let's say, 6% to 2%, which it
which
has
they
done in the
do.
past multiple
They
times.
did.
They
Yeah.
do every few years, they would do it. So then your income would be cut in half or more overnight without you doing anything, you being wrong. So there's another big risk, basically. These two, I would say, would be the major risks associated with an online business.
So how do you get ownership? You can't.
So yeah, I mean, we just have to, deal with things. So we improvise whenever we either, let's say if we ever get hit with the Google update, we study what we did wrong and then we try to improve that and not do that anymore. If Amazon hits us, then we try and find other affiliate sources like Commission Junction or Share a Sale where we can find other products to promote. So yeah, we gotta improvise. I mean, this is the name of the game. So you can't be, you're playing on their field, so you got to play by their rules and you got to improvise when they change the rules. Yeah.
So those are the big guys. What about the small guys, the hackers that goes on the website, bots that are like
Yeah. Yeah.
subscribing or chatting and sending comments and all that you have to differentiate from. Like, what about how the
Yeah. Exactly. That's another threat, like you said, and that's exactly a reason that companies like us are, people employ companies like us to manage and grow their sites because we have state-of-the-art servers, we have state-of-the-art firewalls, protection against DDoS attacks, hackers, and in the rare event that we do get hacked, we got hacked like once or twice in the last 10 years. And we were just, the one was 10 years ago, which was we were using a very basic server, but then we upgraded our servers. So only once we got hacked, and our support was so fast that we have our technicians and working with the hosting company's technicians, we got that resolved within hours. So that's why it is very important to either invest into good security, like, get plugins for WordPress for your site that would protect it from hackers, or, employ a company like Blackbook to run, manage, and grow your site, basically, so that you can be at peace.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So tell us now about how you get up, dress up, and show up. Let's talk about your morning routine.
Yeah, to be honest, so I'm like a night owl, and I work late in the night. Also because there's no distractions, and most of the people I work with are based in the US and I'm in India, so it's easier to communicate in the night for me. I sleep like at maybe 1, 2, and it used to be more late before, but then we were blessed with two baby girls 6 months ago,
Nice.
and since then the routine, yeah, thank you. Everything has changed. So my routine, there's no set routine to be honest. What I do is I wake up when I wake up, which could be anywhere like 8 a.m., 7:30, 8 a.m. Sometimes later, 8:30, and then I just play with my girls. They're like for an hour or so, I'll just play with them.
Yeah.
Then I'll make tea for me and my wife. We'll have our breakfast together, and we'll chat for like half an hour and just catch up on stuff because she helped me with the business. She's like the main person running the show,
Yeah.
I'd say. So we just catch up on life, on general, and then I just take a shower and get to work. It's pretty simple. There's nothing, yeah, too fancy about it. Yeah.
They do say that behind a strong man is a stronger woman.
Yeah, I agree to that. I have to agree to that. Yeah,
Running the show, making sure it all stays intact.
100%.
Uh,
100%. Yeah.
let's talk about in terms of how you feed your senses as an entrepreneur, right? Because you understand that there's quite a bit coming at you all at once as a
Yeah.
business owner and managing a
Yeah.
team. And so how do you keep your composure? What are the tactics, things that you do to help you show up better for your team and are now for as a father?
Yeah, so I'm a very patient person. Like I don't get agitated or angry very easily. Like I can count on my fingertips on one hand, like how many times I got angry in a year. So it doesn't come naturally to me. So I don't get angry. I'm more of like a talk it out person. So if there's any issue, I just want to talk it out with whoever the person is, whether it's my team member or a business partner or a freelancer, whatever. And I just, I think staying calm and talking it out solves pretty much most of the problems instead of getting angry and agitated. So that's one thing. The second thing is I'm not the best people manager. I know that. So, and my wife is. So she manages all the team. She handles all the team. I just have to, talk to her and tell her that this is what should be done or this can be done or this could be better. And then she gives suggestions and then she handles the team. Earlier, our team was small, but now we're 25 full-time people. So we have HR, we have, my wife doing majorly managing the people. So the team helped me a lot, basically. So that's why I'm able to grow.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And so in terms of like meditation, what you're reading, things to kind of to help you, what are some of those you want to share?
Yeah. So yeah, I read sporadically. I used to read pretty much every day, but I do read a few times a week, and mostly it's business books or some skill that I'm trying to learn,
Yeah.
and nonfiction is what I do. But to change of pace, like sometimes I'll pick up a fiction. Uh, Maybe I'll do Bill Bryson or uh, Tom Clancy sometimes, and mix it up basically. But mostly I like nonfiction and business books. And I sometimes reread the books that I really like Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was one of the very inspiring books that got me started on this journey. And so I like read for like half an hour, 40 minutes every 2 days. And with the kids, it's gotten busier. So there's no set schedule. So you got to work around their schedule. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. And I used to meditate in the past. I left the practice, but I've started again. And I do like 15 minutes of silent meditation
Mhm.
and just try to focus. And I use there was an app called what was it? Calm. I use Calm, and that Headspace is also good. So either of those, and the guided meditations kind of keep me
Yeah.
into the zone because if I do it without any guidance, then my mind would wander and I would start down a trail of thoughts and never be able to come back. So yeah, guided works better for me.
Yeah. Down a rabbit hole there. Yeah, with the thoughts that like
Yeah,
popcorn, they just keep popping up.
e- exactly. One after the other. Yeah,
And the beauty of meditation is just simply to what recognize that they're there and you just kind of follow the
exactly.
breath because you can't really
Yeah,
shut it down, but you can train it, which
yeah,
is
exactly.
which
Exactly.
is
It takes a lot of practice.
it does
Yeah.
absolutely. I concur, and it helps throughout the day too. I mean, you say you're naturally a calm person. It helps you show up even more zen, more calm, more receptive, and just
Ex-
more like cool, calm, and collected.
exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, tell us about where we can find you. How can we connect with you?
Yeah, sure. Just if you search my name on Google, Mohit Tater, Mohit Tater, you can look me up on LinkedIn or send me a message on Twitter, Instagram, or my email is mohit@mohittater.com, and my website is blackbookinvestments.com. So yeah, just look up my name, you'll find me. Um,
Yes. Yeah, thank you for
Happy to
sharing.
help.
Yeah, it's really nice having you on. I just have I have a 5 month old as well, and I know trying to get schedule,
Yeah,
your schedule is no longer your own, so I totally understand
yeah,
it changes with time. Um,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, before you head out, and one thing that I've learned is, we have to be adaptable and adjusted when things come
yeah.
our way. So what's one piece of advice you want to give our listeners around not just habit, but like time management and how to show up?
Um, to be honest, for me, I used to try and control everything in my schedule and time, and it didn't work out for me. So what I do is now I just flow with the day. However that day is going, I just flow with that. I don't try to go against it. And in most cases, it ends up being, good for me because what was needed to be done in that particular moment is what I did instead of following a set pattern or following a certain schedule.
Mhm.
So and I'm very grateful for my business to be able to afford me this luxury, to be honest. So I am very grateful for the business that my wife and I have built, because without this business I would not have been able to do this, to be honest.
Yeah.
So just go with the flow if you can, and don't be too rigid about your schedule or routine. It's all right to sometimes let go and do things as they come up.
Go with the flow from the man himself,
Yeah,
Mohit, the
yeah.
serial entrepreneur and investor. And, it's been such a joy having you on the show. Thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you, Lenine. Happy to be here. Yeah.
Yes. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please comment and tell us what was your favorite part, your favorite habit that you are going to try out for yourself today. Comment below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.